First of all, I wish mazel tov to all those who are participating in this most important shir. And just to quote the Alter Rebbe, Pesach beracha, levaruch u'leheilus Hashem ki tov, shmu tov u'shoman v'tachin nashi ein tov el l'teira, teira Hashem tamimo. The Chassidus explains what is the difference between Tefillah Shachris and Tefillah Mincha and Tefillah Arbis. Which one? Why is it that Eliyahu Novi v'nana el b'Tefillah Mincha? So Chassidus explains Tefillah Shachris, when you wake up in the morning and before you go into doing your work, whatever it is, meilus, you take time to daven. Arvis, Ma'ariv, you come back from work also. What is Ian from Tefillah Mincha during the day? When it comes to time mincha, and a person is in the middle of his work, says Chassidus, and he pulls himself away, he stops doing anything, and he runs to daven with a minyan, this is more important. He has more time to show that he took away time from his work in order to daven with a minyan, to daven mincha. That's the mile of mincha, and Eliyahu el b'Tefillas mincha. B'shas you have in the light that they are Halacha, they're about to, from them to occupy themselves with the ingam from Vedas, from work during the day, Schochet, and regardless of that, they take out time every single day to listen to a shir and to learn an inyan, so we can imagine to what tainuk the Eibishter has from such a type of learning, which is even more, I would say, than a bocha sitting and learning, because that has responsibility. And what all she does is an 11th. The Shas you have a young man that he pulls himself away from whatever he's doing in order to take out an hour of learning. Das ist a gewaltige inyan, and it causes Kodesh Baruch Hu and the Rebbe a gewaltige Chidush Mendel. I hope that this will continue even more, and maybe they should add on another few minutes, because the Rebbe said that when a person has a shir and he finds out that they added another minute or two, so the Rebbe said, das geht mir zu gesund, that adds to the Rebbe. So in Mele, you learn 60 minutes, learn 65 minutes, so that will give that Rebbe even more time, even more pleasure from the fact that we added another few minutes. So David to help us until noch mehr Atzloch, you should see even more and more, and those who are working to get Smicha, so sein Smicha, and we should have more Chassidische Rabbonim, and so sein Atzloch, and of course all these activities that the Rebbe said that every Meise Tov, a Pula Tov, adds to the cup which fills up with all the Meisen Tovim, and Mashiach, as the Rebbe once expressed himself, is waiting that that cup shall be overflowing with the Meisen Tovim, and then without overflowing, Mashiach will come. So all this is only bringing closer and hastening the coming of Mashiach, so they hope noch mehr Atzlocha, and we should talk about Bezeichen to see the Melech Mashiach, the Rebbe taken from Yad.
It's a milestone in your life. The Gemara tells us when Rav was nifter and his Talmidim went after the Levaya, they went home, they stopped on the road, and then they did Shaya, aber Birkes mazel. And then they say, Oi vei, we are not away from our Rebbe, and we didn't finish to learn the Halacha, we don't know all the Halachas. When you go away, you should know, even if you have Smicha, you have always to continue to study. And the main thing, you have to be in contact with your Rebbe, asking questions. The Rebbe is a connection for life. It's not just that they give you the paper. It's a matter that you continue to asking for advice, asking for guidance in your life, and asking the main thing. In every halacha, it comes details and details of details. So asking these questions, if we don't have shaylas, then it's a question on your whole smicha. That means that they can continue to learn. And we should utilize it in a proper way. We can bring light and enlightening to the surrounding, to the people that you meet, to klal yisroel. Mazel tov.
I would like to wish mazel tov for all the participants in the Smicha online program, and especially a mazel tov to Rabbi Wilhelm, and also for all those that are getting the Smicha. I was very impressed at looking over the different things that you learned, and even speaking to the Talmidim, and being able to participate at least in one of the tests. And I want to commend all of you for taking so much time and putting so much effort in your learning. It's a tremendous thing for people all over the world to take off time and to learn, especially in Yani Halacha, which is so important today, and there's such a great need for it. One of the most important things is that one in his own house should be able to recognize what a Shaya is. So he should be able to ask a Shaya. One should be able to recognize the Shaylas to be able to look up in Shulchan Aruch. One should always try to look things up and not just to rely on his memory, because our memories can play tricks. And also to be able to see the words of the Shulchan Aruch, to remember the Shittas, and never to feel embarrassed about turning to a Rov and asking a Shayla. And when that person has learned, asks a Shayla, we can feel it in the questions that are being asked, that they have a background, that they know how to ask the Shayla, they know how to present the case, so that we should be able to give us the best amount of information. So I want to wish you all, you should be matzliach, further endeavors, and you should go Michael Choil in your limit at Torah, and go to limit Shemevi L'Dei Maisa in the Kiyam HaMitzvahs Behider. And now also you should use your influence in helping others and spreading the learning of Halacha, the learning of Torah in general, and putting an emphasis on the learning of Halacha, and especially like the Rebbe says in so many of his letters, to learn the limit halachas atzrichas liyom yom, all the halachas on a day-to-day basis, starting from Hilchas Brachas and Hilchas Tefillah and Krishma and Birchas HaShachar and Birchas HaNenin and the Hilchas Shabbos that you learned with Yontiv and Hilchas Pesach. These are things that we all need. Smicha is mostly on Yoreh De'ah. Orach Chaim, which is the first chelik in Shulchan Aruch, it was always known by Chassidim that they were experts in Orach Chaim, because that's day-to-day life. In day-to-day life, you have to know how to live it. If we want to make a dwelling place for Hashem in this world, a dir b'tachtainim, it comes from limit halacha. So once again, I wish you mazel tov, and you should go from strength to strength and carry on the good work. And mitzvah Hashem, we should be zoiche from the Hisof and limit Torah. We should be zoiche that we should become, we should merit the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheir b'meinu.
I'd like to congratulate all the Talmidim which are learning for the Smicha. Learning Halacha v'Klal is a very important thing. In order to know what to do, you have to know the Halacha, or at least to know what to ask, you have to know the Halacha. And I'll share with you an experience with a friend of mine, someone that we speak together many times, and he mentioned to me what difference it made for him learning this on this Smicha program where he was learning at home, what difference it made not only on him, but for his whole family. The way how his wife respects it, how much she enjoys that he's sitting and learning, to make sure that he doesn't get disturbed from learning. And when you have children at home, it's a complete different impact when they see their father learning. And today you have it, you can sit in your room and you have it on the screen, you can sit and learn shiur, and you can learn smicha, you can learn halacha, and it has a tremendous impact, especially when they watch you do it, and you don't want to miss anything, so you don't interrupt, you don't talk, so the children see the chashivas of sitting and learning Torah, and that helps them, that they should start learning with give much more importance to sitting and learning. And the way that Azal say that the halacha is a haketz that's makar of the geula. So sure that everyone is going to add on learning Torah b'chlal and halacha b'frat. It's going to bring the Geula, Mitzvah Shlema, B'Karev Mamish, and a lot of us will.
I want to wish you all the work what you're doing to teach Smicha, and also in Even Ezer, and all those who learn should be Matzliach in everything that we do. And we have to remember how much we learn. We also have to have practice, and we should never be ashamed to ask a question. And we should never think that we know everything. I also, many times, I have to pick up the phone and ask Shilas, because to make sure that I paskin right. I just want to tell you a story. Rabbi Gershon Schussman one time asked a Shayla to Zalman Shimon to work in other words, before the cells, before texts, before emails. And Zalman Shimon said, it's good. Yeah. 2 hours later, he gets a phone call from his brother-in-law, Rabbi Klein. Says, Zalman Shimon is looking for you. He can't find you. So he calls back. What happened? Zalman Shimon said, Gershon, did you follow up what I told you? He said, not yet. He said, good. I went back home. I looked back into the Shulchan Aruch, and I found that I didn't paskin exactly what I was supposed to say. Therefore, I need to call you that you should know that this and this and this is the halacha. When Rabbi Gershon Schussman told it to us, he says he was that if Rabbi Zalman Shimon, who had the Shulchan Aruch, he had a murdic memory, and he was learning. But nevertheless, when someone asked a Shayla, so it came up to him that this is the halacha. But later, when he went back, he could say Ta'isi, right? So the same thing we have to realize, how much we learn. Sometimes when someone asks you a Shayla, I tell the person, call me back in a half an hour. I open up a Shulchan Aruch. Someone comes to the house to ask a Shayla. I open up, I said, I want to look it through, because we're only humans. So how much we learn, and which is very good what we learn, but when we're going to have to come and paskin la halacha, sometimes we have to remember, so I want to wish everyone atzlacha, mazel matzliach sein, and you're learning halacha Leibel the Rechovot, and mazel matzliach sein, and dann the Rebbe Yanim, and mazel sein Mashiach.
It gives me much honor and pleasure to extend my wishes of mazel tov to the Choshev and Mesayimim of this Smicha program, Smicha Online. It is truly an incredible phenomenon to see Alabatim with businesses and careers giving so much of the time and effort to limud Torah, and in Torah itself, la'asuki shmaitza Leibel hilchasa, to study the halachic, practical aspect, which will increase the knowledge of halacha, the understanding of shaylas, with the benefit to oneself and to others that they come in contact with. The Gemara in Eruvin says, that every entity, every body is a reflection of its leader. I have known the Rosh Yeshiva of the program, Rav Nachman Willem, from the time that he has been Shliach in Sydney many years ago, and already then he had excelled in his level of scholarship, as well as in his total immersion in the world of Torah and Halacha, even then corresponding with world poskim dayonim in Shailas in Halacha. I want to wish him mazel tov. There's no question that the results and the fruits of this program are very important.